accentuated by the wind. Something a little bit brighter down towards Cornwall, but I suspect the best of the brighter weather through the day will be for Scotland and Northern Ireland. The fog clears mid to late morning, and we've got some good sun spells and light winds as well, so not such a bad day here. Rather grey though across all of England and Wales, a little bit of sleet and rain, particularly through the afternoon, but nothing too widespread. Temperatures on the face of it are not too up on today's values, but still below average and still feeling quite chilly in that southeastern corner with that northeasterly wind. A lot of cloud around for the rest of this week, but in spite of all the cloud, most places will stay dry. Also stay cold, temperatures stay below average, but thankfully towards the middle and latter part of this week, those strong winds will gradually ease.
Linked to Star Wars, how a group of swimmers are braving an icy winter lake on Country Farm. Next. Keep up with the Six Nations and watch it live whenever you're out and about with the BBC Sport app. Available for download now.
Renata's house midwife speaking.
We were only in our early 20s.
Anything could happen. Jenny could find a boyfriend.
We served the women of the East End in their hour of greatest need.
I did everything I could.
A missionary.
Africa.
Call the midwife. Catch up on BBC iPlayer now.
Tonight, Dr. Tiller's fighting a deadly disease, but there's a terrible shock on its way. New Call the Midwife in an hour. To Bristol, first on BBC One, and look who's dropping in. Bristol. Step away from the hustle and bustle of city life, and there's beauty to be had. A green and pleasant land, right on the doorstep.
I'm going to be on the search for some of the rarest plants in Britain, but I'm not going to find them up here. Basically, what I've got to do is... I'll tell you what, I'll leave that as a bit of a cliffhanger.
But you don't have to go to the extreme to find wildlife here. I've got wind of some very exciting news. Apparently this place, Bristol Docks, has become home to one of our most elusive mammals, the otter. So I've got myself a camera. I'm going to try and capture the evidence for myself. Fingers crossed. Pigs are at the heart of Tom's investigation.
These two sows look very contented. We've discovered that thousands of farms on the European mainland are ignoring new pig welfare laws. It raises questions with echoes of the horse meat scandal. Could illegally produced meat be ending up in our shopping baskets? I'll be investigating.
And Adam's in search of something special.
These are Banals, a very rare breed of cattle, and they can be quite nervous and jumpy, so I can't go too close. And around 20 years ago, they were virtually extinct. And I've come to this farm in Leeds, where they've been doing a huge amount of work to help preserve the breed.
Where did you ever plan? Bristol, sandwiched between Gloucestershire and Somerset, just south of the mighty Severn Estuary, it's a city wrapped up in countryside. They took shape around the Avon, a river that carved the hilly landscape that makes for strong thighs and distant views.
The water also carved out a corner of a chasm in this landscape. Now this side of the Clifton Suspension Bridge is a suburb of Bristol, the other is leafy countryside, but I'm here for the bit in between, the steep-sided abyss of the Avon Gorge.
Nearly 300 feet high, the gorge stretches for 1.5 miles. I'm here in search of some of its rare inhabitants.
These rock faces are the last remaining stronghold in the UK of some very rare species of plant, but even in this isolated place, they're being overpowered by an unstoppable force.
Scrub. Clearing it back is a perilous task. that falls into the hands of a group of extreme gardeners. And later today, me. But while they're getting ready for my vertical descent, I'm meeting Mandy leaders to find out why these plants are worthy of all this attention.
So Mandy, what are these rare plants?
Well, there are over 30 nationally rare and scarce plants growing here in the Avon Gorge, which makes it one of the top 3 sites for rare plants in England. The site itself is internationally important. It's what's known as a special area of conservation.
Mandy's brought along photos of some of the rarest flora.
We should really call it the round-headed leek, that's its proper name,
Right.
but because it just grows here in the Avon Gorge and nowhere else in the rest of the country, it's known as the Bristol onion. And we've got another one, which is called the Bristol rock cress. And again, that's just found here and nowhere else in the rest of the UK. But these plants are part of a community of limestone grassland plants that thrive here on rocky ledges below us. They're really well adapted to living in these almost harsh conditions.
The small rare plants are at risk from bigger ones taking over the cliffs, brambles, weeds and vegetation that escape from the city's gardens. Mandy's going to show me one of the rare ones that she's trying to protect.
So, big drum roll.
Yeah. Where are you
Here
looking?
it
Oh,
is.
that's it there.
Yeah, it's quite a titchy little
This
thing.
is very sweet, actually.
It is, yeah.
So what is it, Mandy, about this gorge that allows these plants to grow here and nowhere else?
Well, we think that what happened is that after the last ice age, there was an ice sheet that came down as far as the M4 corridor. As the climate warmed, there was a land bridge between Britain and Europe, and these plants would have come over from southern Europe, and as the climate warmed, they would have covered the whole of southern Britain. And as it got warmer still, trees would have come on behind them, and the trees would have grown into flat places and shaded out the grassland plants. And the only places that these plants were left were in these rocky places like the Avon Gorge. So it's really the fact that we've got rocky ledges, thin soils, scree slopes and probably constant rockfalls which allowed these plants to survive really as little pockets of precious plants.
Apparently I've got to go over the edge here today, and I was just, I noticed this as we passed it, warning cliff edge, risk of serious injury.
Well, it's a very long way down there, it's
Yeah.
like 90 metres, so...
Have you been over yourself?
I haven't personally, no.
Ah, right, well, I'll tell you all about it when I go over.
Oh, thank you. No, I've been too scared to get over there.
Have you? Oh, great.
I'll also be finding out about some special agents who've been recruited to help digest the scrub.
Jabba's closing.
Now, the scandal over horse meat in our food has shocked us all. But as Tom's been finding out, it's not the only concern over illegally produced meat being imported from Europe.
With over 10,000 farms nationwide producing over 9 million pigs each year, the British pig industry is a vitally important part of our agriculture.
Pork production isn't just vital to the farming economy, it's crucial to consumers too. Last year we munched our way